What's going on? I know it's not Wednesday, but it's Thursday. But I tend to have been seeing this happen a lot lately. And I guess I owe it to my clients. It's so much that you never realize what you may be going through until you see somebody else that's going through the same thing. And it's funny because I had this client from last year, and I remember her last year. And I sat in my office, I prayed with her and everything because she was going through some tough times or whatever. And when she came in today, um, after me not seeing her for a year, she automatically could pick up on something or whatever. And the only reason why she could pick up on it is because she went through the same thing. So it might be redundant. I might have said this 1,000 times before during my midweek pickups, but it's true. And sometimes you have to beat into other people's heads, what they need to hear. Because if you don't, then what's going to ever change? How is change going to happen? And you all know that I'm big on change is evolutionary. But one thing that we all have to understand is I can give advice until I'm blue black in the face. But if I'm not taking my own advice, then how am I going to be able to help someone else evolve into the person that they're supposed to be if I'm still stuck at the same spot or stuck in the situation that I know that I shouldn't be stuck in? I'm talking about work here, people. I'm not talking about anything more drastic than that. It's just work. You know, anxiety has been kicking my butt for the past year just working here. And when a complete stranger who doesn't know you sees you maybe once a year can look at you and tell that, something's wrong and can tell that the, I guess, aura that you have going on with you is not matching up to what it should be because you are completely, um, I guess you can say, unhappy with the space that you're in life, and you know what you need to do to change it, but you're anchoring on because you think that you may need it. Let me be the first to tell you, if something is draining away at your soul, you don't need it. Period. It's no other way that you can put it. If something is actually eating away at your happiness, you do not need it because it's going to change everything. It's going to change the way that you act, the way that you look on life, the way that you treat others, the way that you act around your family. It's no way that you should be at home and still let the stress of your workday consume you. It's no way that you should be completely unhappy and unmotivated because you hate what you're doing in life. If that's the case, make the change. Period. Now, it's easy to say you need to plan, you need to have structure, you need to know what you're doing before you just up and, leave somewhere or whatever, which is something that I've been doing is planning. But at the same time, it's nobody else's business but yours. If you have a significant other, of course you can let them in on the plan, but it's nobody else's business. It doesn't matter what's going on. You don't need to tell anybody what you have planning because that's for you. And that's for you to try and perfect as much as you can before you make that move. I know what my plan is. I know what I'm going to do afterwards. It's just that sometimes we feel like we're impatient, but what I've learned is patience is something that you must have because if you don't have patience, you're going to be stuck. Period. That was my problem. I didn't have patience at first. Now that I do have patience, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel and I know it's coming. I know what I have to do to make it happen. It's just all about making it happen. So, again, never be in a place that's draining you. Never continue to do something that's making you unhappy. Because if you're not happy, you can't make the people around you happy. If you're letting something else consume your time and your mind and your heart and your soul, how can you expect to make anything else happen for people around you? Um, just period. This lady told me sometimes you have to be a little selfish, something that I don't really know how to do because I feel like God gave me a gift, and that's to help people. But if you don't help yourself, how are you going to help somebody else? Period. There's no other way that you can put it. I sat here and talked to this lady for like an hour and a half, and just talking to her. And, last year I tried to, say some encouraging words. I said a prayer for her after she left. I said a prayer for her when she was here. And, it's little things that we take for granted and we think is not making anything better. But, she told me that's something that really helped her, and she's in a better place now. And, she did a lot of other things to get in the place she was, but she's not the same person she was when she came in here with me a year ago. And that's awesome. That's something that's actually that's a very great thing. If you can help somebody get to a different place in life, why not do it? But then at the same time, what are you doing for yourself? If you're not doing nothing for yourself, pretty soon you go fizzle out, and I'm always a firm believer in God has you where he wants you to be at that point in time. I was here where I needed to be when I met her. So now that she's come back and she's like, you're still here. And I'm like, yeah, I'm still here. But she can tell it's drawing away at my soul. And that's something that we don't need, period. So everybody keep that in mind, man. If you're going through something, always know it's something better out there for you. I'm pretty sure that everybody that really listens to this, the few people who do, are about in the same age group as I am. We are not old as we may try and say that we are, think that we are. 32, 33, 34, 35. We are not old, even 40s. We still have time to do whatever we want to do in life. And especially for us who have children, we really have to get a jump on this now, because if we don't get a jump on it now, when it's too late and we try and jump on it, that's when things are going to get more hectic and chaotic and crazy, because we're so stressed to the point to where we don't know what to do. Don't let your life get to that point, because if it does, you're not going to know where to pull. And that's when you start losing things. You start losing your wife or husband. You start losing your kids. You start losing family because you're not happy. And then when you're not happy, you're not making them happy as they should be. You're not making them feel wanted as they should feel wanted. So it's a whole, almost, it's branches to it. And I use the tree as an analogy a lot, because we are like a tree. We have different branches, and different people are different branches in our life. Different situations that we go through is a different branch in our life. We have spiritual branches. We have a lot of different branches on us. But what are we if we're not in control of everything? Of course, the wind's going to blow, and our branches and leaves are going to blow in the wind, but we should be able to control that a little bit. Without control, everything's crazy. So, again, keep all of that in mind. Take charge of your own life. Stop being a number. If you have a plan, stick to your plan. If you got a timeline, stick to your timeline. Do what you got to do for yourself. If not, you're going to suffer. And suffering is not cool, period. Trust me, I know. It is not cool, because it does change a person. I could tell when I was off, I was different from when I am when I'm here working. It's a reason for that. Being underappreciated and undervalued is not something that you need to do, especially if you have a gift, especially if you have something that you would love to do and you know that you're good at it. You got to keep all this stuff in mind. That being said, I'll let y'all next Wednesday, unless somebody else comes in and opens my eyes again to where they need to be open. You can ask God for signs so many times, and sometimes you don't even see the signs, and it's right in your face. You have to open your eyes and just look sometimes. Focus. don't wear glasses just because I can't see. I wear them because I need to focus on what's in front of me. That being said, I'll holler at y'all next week. God first, family second, everything else will follow.